loud.
I didn't want to say it out loud. I didn't know if it was real or not. That's what the private chat
We
is.
lit.
We lit now?
We lit.
Chloe?
Yeah, we
It's
lit.
okay.
It's
Now we're
just
good.
we
All
lit.
right. Chloe,
You want to
Josh,
start
E.
over?
Intro.
Nope. Talk
You gotta
about
do your
we.
intro, bro.
I got to. Okay.
Yeah, let's start over.
Welcome to One Mic Media, back again like I never left. If you saw, we had a little snafu with the start, but we want to definitely do it the right way for the final episode of House of the Dragon. So I'm here today to discuss the season finale of season 2, to give all of our thoughts and opinions and really get into it. And of course, I could not do that without the usual suspects, the team that does represent One Mic Media very well. My guy, my childhood friend, and he's here on time, my man, Mr. E Money. What's good?
Yo.
What's good? What's good?
What's good?
And I got to do it the right way this time. Got to bring in my homegirl who's been up and down in the season, but she got some thoughts on this final episode. My homegirl, Chloe. What's good, Chloe?
What's that?
What's going on?
It's not working.
It's not working. And
What's
last
that?
but surely not least, the guy who's becoming, like I said, another scholar in the world of Westeros, which I like because I can piggyback off of him. And one of the originators in these podcasts, my man, Josh Warren. What's good, Josh?
What up, everybody? It's a wonderful world in Westeros. By the way, Big Mike, I think you might have the freshest shape up in Westeros. Where Barbara Jazz at?
Well, you know, I took it down. Like I told E earlier. So
I'm curious to hear his thoughts as well about the season.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to talk to him last week when I was in the barbershop, but I'm gonna see him next week. So
That's crazy. Jazz used to cut my hair.
Yeah, I remember showing
Yo, Jazz might have to have you
Jazz.
air out a little bit.
You should pop up one day, E.
Yeah, I should pop up
Yeah,
one.
he's still there. He's still been cutting or whatever like that. But Jazz actually didn't watch Game of Thrones till like season 6 or 7, the original, and then after that he had like tons of questions for me, you know, to kind of catch up a little bit. But
Give him some spoilers. I got you, Big Mike.
he gave us some spoilers. What I loved about Game of Thrones and now House of the Dragon is that it's one of the shows that I saw like crossover to all cultures. You know, when that's what I used to talk about. Like, you know, I see people like in a barbershop, these hood gangsters like talking about the Dragon Lady. I'm like, I love how these shows are kind of crossing over because it didn't used to really like, you know, be like that at one point. So I thought that was pretty cool. But season 2, episode 8, we do pick up. Well, we don't pick up, but we knew what happened last week with Rhaenyra, and she showed her hand. She got all the dragons now, and Aemon kind of ran away. So now all these different parts have fallen into place. I want to talk about the start and kind of get rid of his story. He's probably the weakest story on there, and that was about Tywin Lannister. And they sent him over to Essos, and his deal is to make a deal with the Triarchy to get their ships to go against Corlys' ships to get rid of the blockade. And he has to make a deal. He gave up the Stepstones, which they got last year, if you remember from the Crab guy, and he had to, I guess, I was his whole story. He had to mess with this big lady and then see if she would take it, and see if she would like him or not. And then she wound up saying okay, but apparently she got beef with Corlys because she said this time the Sea Snake gonna learn a lesson.
Yeah.
So real quick, Josh, E, how you felt about his whole storyline over there?
I swear I've seen something like that happen before with with that type of conservative guy, and he has to make a deal, and the
Yeah.
person that he has to make a deal with is usually this roughhouse motherfucker. Like, so I've seen it before, but
yeah.
I don't know. The female vibe was pretty good. She was strong with it. Like, I believed it. Put it like that. I believed it.
Okay. Josh, how you felt about Tyler Lannister's story this episode?
I thought it was interesting, especially the proposition at the end. Like
Yeah.
this part, I don't know about him. Does he have a wife at home and kids?
No. No, he doesn't.
Mm.
He
Because
has
the thing
nothing.
is,
Is he?
No, but I think his twin does. He plays both twins, the guy, but the other one who's on the march, he does, but not Tyler, because that's why he's with the crown right now.
because with him, you still want to keep your nobility in that world, so he would have to be with them in Essos, but at Westeros, I got a whole different family. You feel me, type of thing.
Could be. You never know. And Chloe, how you felt about Tyler Lannister?
It was definitely given side mission.
Yeah, I also
It's like, okay, it reminded me of what's his name? The little short dude. Tyrion, yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're related.
Another Lannister.
Another Lannister.
Another
So
Lannister.
it was interesting too because the Lannisters they always pay their debts, right? So I'm waiting for that to come up. But also they're broke or they don't have as much money as they appear to have.
Yeah.
So it's like interesting to see them, with the lions and this regal sense. But he said we low key don't have that much money. Like he was like, listen, how about this? Like, how about the stepstone? But I don't know. It's. I was a little bit confused when they went there. I'm like, what is this about? Why is this, going on? It was a little bit of comic relief though. So.
Right, and I didn't think about them having to need like ships and stuff to go up against like the sea snake.
But like
I say, the queen that never was.
But honestly, like, do you even really need ships? You don't even need ships or armies. Like, all you need is dragons. I'm just thinking, like, the dragons could literally just fly over all the ships and burn all of them.
Right, but they only have one dragon, though. Right now, they got several.
But it don't matter what they have. Like, my whole thing is this. They're trying to do all this land march and stuff, and we'll get to the part. But, like, this is the war of the dragons. This is not... People ain't gonna do nothing. So it's like, unless they on them ships, they got a whole bunch of scorpions. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like they doing all of this for nothing.
Okay.
So that's just my opinion.
Okay.
And Big Mike, I had a question for you. Could you break down that deal that they made? Because who did they have to deal with first that they reneged on?
They never had a deal. Well, first of all, in the book, it's Sir Otto who goes over there and makes the deal. It's not Tyler Lannister.
Interesting. Okay.
Secondly, this is the Triarchy, so it's like a 3-headed monster over in Essos. There's actually 3 different groups that represent as one that you saw. That's what they call the Triarchy. And basically, they got great ships. They got faster ships than Corlys, actually. And Chloe don't care about the ships. But they got faster ships than Corlys, and they a little bit more sea. They know their stuff. They're the only ones they can count on that can beat the sea snake. So they had to make that deal because of the blockade. Basically, is what it was.
So they weren't impacted by the blockade at all.
Who?
The Triarchy.
No, the blockade is on King's Landing. So they're blocking people from getting in food, merchandise, all that type of stuff. That's what Corlys is doing to kind of start the people out to hate the crown. But they're not. They're in Essos. Essos is just fun, party, good time. Like there's no king. There's no, they don't believe in that Sir.
They got a bunch of merchants over there too. Bunch of entrepreneurs just chilling.
Merchants, pirates, thieves. That's where Cole wanted to take Rhaenyra and sell oranges, but she was like, "Nah, I ain't doing this." But that was about. And moving forward, though,
sell oranges.
No, he literally said that. Did he say that? He said
he definitely said that.
So, and I was like, "Yo, that was your pitch, bro, to a queen to go sell
right,
oranges?"
Right. You couldn't do nothing better.
Right, but Aemon is pissed because He found out Rhaenyra got the dragon. So we see he burnt up this town, who's actually had pledged to Rhaenyra. So instead of like normally, saying, okay, I'm gonna try to turn them or having bent the knee, he's burned them all up. The whole castle, the kingdom, all the people there, because he threw a fit. And we see to talk about that later on. But Josh, what were your thoughts about Aemon in that move right there?
This is where again I really appreciate George's detail of that mental and emotional connection between the dragon and the dragon rider, because Vhagar is about that time as well. That happened with Luke last year. So they're both out of control and unpredictable, and they're petulant. So both of them wanted to do that. It's not like he was given the order. Like Vhagar, remember the time where Vhagar was in the brush, like hiding in the woods, and he was waiting for Aegon to go. He's like, oh wait. He's like, oh man, I want that smoke. So to me, it was only a matter of time before something like this happened, unfortunately, for that small town.
Yeah, I mean, Aegon was born in Valyria, but right like that. But it reminds me of when about you will get a king of ashes because you're gonna burn everything down, trying to get your way. But how you felt about? Cole got the wine. What that? Anyway, how you feel about that? And his temper tantrum. Let's say
it's a mocktail. This is actually a brand that's non-alcoholic.
Really?
Yeah. And I put a little magnesium in it because it's my sleepy time drink. So it feels like wine, but it's healthy. So I was I like how it was like I didn't know what was going on in the first scene when I saw him on that dragon. First of all, it was a close up of the dragon, and you could see the fire and stuff. And I was like, "What? Hold up! Did he want the smoke? Like, did he try to?" Because where we left off last episode, he made the strong you. He was like, "Oh, it's good."
Yeah, last time I checked, Vhagar wasn't that hard to control then.
Okay, Vhagar was like, nah, we going back home, okay? So I guess he was like, all right, Vhagar, since you couldn't have the smoke over there, let's go over here. So when I first saw Vhagar, I'm like, no, he didn't just start the war, but nah, he ended up burning the town, like a random town, which to me is crazy. Like,
for him, random. They had declared for Rhaenyra.
Well, they declared for Rhaenyra, but like, come on, bro. It wasn't no army there.
Yeah.
That wasn't the spot to do that.
Nah.
And that made that made them look, weak. That made Vhagar look. You used Vhagar in a weak way. Like you made that shit weak.
But it's just funny because, like, I think in a future scene we'll get to it. All the people, anytime they see anybody dragging, they screaming.
They go.
Right, because you can't control that flame.
Well, they don't know whose dragon belongs to who. They just see a dragon, so it could be their dragon, and they like So I think that's funny, which leads back to my point of this ain't about soldiers, because soldiers is nothing compared to fire. So it's like, so that was my thought.
It's like this though. Some of those dragons get killed, right? And the riders get killed
by other dragons.
Them soldiers are still gonna, it's still gonna cause havoc. It's still gonna be damage done by man too.
Also, they can't be everywhere at once, close. So you might have wars going on.
It doesn't matter if they there at once. All he gotta do is burn this down. Fly like 5 minutes to the left. You see how quick she got to Harrenhal? It took her 2 seconds. Yeah. So my whole thing is it's like these dragons are basically jets with bombs on them, like, and that's what we'll get to the part where Corlys had, to talk with her. But like, come on now, they dragging this war out.
You got some points, but you got to be careful too. But you'll see what goes along. But speaking of Vhagar, Josh, I keep forgetting that if we do get Aegon's conquest, we'll see Vhagar, young Vhagar, who was a part of the conquest. So I think that's pretty dope, actually.
Absolutely. And to be fair, Chloe, you're right, but Vhagar started the war when he first ate Luke. That's all I was saying.
Yeah, Vhagar started that shit.
It could have been forgiven. I feel like why.
Sun Force.
Let me say why. Because Rhaenyra, after her son got eaten up, still put on a nun outfit and went and tried to make amends. So,
but that's because the baby got their throat slit.
Right, that wasn't her idea.
Well, it could have ended then, but Allison didn't want to end it.
And even now, after the baby got their throat slit, it's still son for a son. That wasn't a son.
We'll get to that. Don't do that.
We're gonna get there, and y'all gonna hear my point of view. Y'all gonna be like, "Oh, that makes sense."
All right. Well, let's move forward from that scene, and next we get your boy Crispy King, Aegon, and he's sitting there burnt up. But this
I thought you was gonna say Crispy Cole.
No.
He's a Crispy King.
Crispy King.
The Burger King.
Right.
Yo.
Flame Bro.
He Little Caesars. He hot and ready.
But this time he asked for some rum. He like, listen, I'm chilling now. Fuck it. I'm just gonna sit here and drink this rum. He asked for Maester. You know, Maester like, all right, cool. But your boy Larys walk in again, hating. And like, all right, nah, put the rum down. And basically he like, telling him like, look, we gotta go. Look, Rhaenyra got more dragons. Aemon gonna kill you eventually, regardless. And if he don't kill you, Rhaenyra gonna kill you. So we got to go. So Aegon's like, look, well, when Aemon get back, I'll put him in jail. And then he gonna say, okay, then you got no dragon against Rhaenyra. So you fucked either way. So I'm gonna get you out of here. I got some money I done put up. We're gonna stash you away, and we'll come back when it's time. And then the people will love you once you come back after they kill each other. So I would love to Chloe about this. How you feel about that conversation, Larys' motivation, and Aegon's reaction to that?
So you skipped the whole part. You skipped the whole part
of the show
of Aegon's speech.
Oh wait,
you can
say it.
He said my sausage is exploded. Basically, he said he's like, hey, yo, this was the realest conversation I heard on Game of Thrones. Period. Because this is the realest conversation Larys had with him. Because Larys like, yo, come on, I'm gonna take you over here. And he like, bro, I can't even have fun over there. He's like, I can't even pee. I can't do nothing. Like you talking about we gonna escape to the land of, promiscuousness. Yeah. And I can't even have fun. And I'm burnt up and I'm looking like this. Why didn't you suggest this before? Like Larry should have been suggested this. Larry should have suggested this to him before he was a cripple, before he looked crazy. He should have said, yo, bro, let them do their thing. You gonna come with me? I got money over here. They won't even know you not here. Come with us and they can fight the war and we could just be chilling. He didn't even say that to him. So it's all Larry's fault. I'm blaming Larys, okay? I'm blaming him. But this is the first conversation he had with him that I low-key agreed with him with.
What was funny about it was because Larys trying to be so serious. Aegon just like, but my sausage is gone. It was super funny.
Because he was dead serious too.
He was.
That was the best part of the conversation because he like, yo, that's the real conversation. He's like, yo, I'm gonna lock him up. And then he was like, listen, and then what? He's like, he's gonna come and kill you. And then you don't have a dragon to ride. Basically call him stupid without calling him stupid and said, listen, just come with me. But he should have talked to him like that before.
Yeah.
But he never did.
He never did. Well, I guess he did think the fool would jump out on his dragon and go into the middle of war without knowing what was going on.
But they knew he was going to do that because remember, and first of all, if Larys is the king of whispers, he should have known when he was suiting up. He should have been in the room while old boy was putting on that armor, looking in the mirror, drunk. Yeah. Where was Larys? That's what I want to know. He was off moving the money. He moved the money overseas.
Exactly.
He was over there. He was over there doing what he was supposed to do. But I think it's a great plan. I think Larys has the best plan out of everybody right now. Like, let's get the hell up out of Dodge. He's like, I know what fire does to people because I set my brother on fire. So, how about that? He set his own brother on fire, and then he's trying to sympathize with the person who got set on fire by his brother.
That's
crazy.
Yeah. I like the symmetry there. It's pretty good. Yeah, Laris, he got a stash put up. But how you feeling about Laris and Aegon and Laris' plan to get Aegon out of
Man, like I said, there go again, Laris with the loyalty, trying to save that nigga ass. He always saving his ass. Like, well, right now he really saving his ass.
Yeah.
That is. I thought that was a smart plan. I couldn't even argue with the fact that he even came up with that. Like, I was like, yeah, get this motherfucker up out of here, because his demise is coming either which way, like you said. And at first I was with Aegon, like, yeah, lock that motherfucker up. That's what I've been saying. Why you ain't been locked this nigga up? But when he mentioned that dragon shit, I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Got him right there.
He does.
But if he would have been okay, let's just say Aegon locks him up, right?
Right.
And then he just bent the knee.
Aemon?
Yeah, Aemon. Aemon. No, Aegon. If Aegon locked up Aemon,
right,
and then bent the knee to Rhaenyra, would he still get his head chopped off?
Yeah. She's got to chop it off. But we'll get to that.
But even if he bends the knee, like, hey, my bad. I effed up.
Well, technically, let me get to that. I mean, it's not about the scene later on. Well, technically, half of the realm still wants Aegon as king because they believe, number one, he's the male heir, which he is, of Viserys, so he should be the king. So even him bending the knee, they still wouldn't follow her unless he's gone all the way. It's like, as long as you're still there, you give them, like, hope that, no, one day we can get him as the king and stuff like that.
But if he like, yo, no, like, my whole thing is this, right? They're brother and sister.
They are.
Like, yes. So if he was just like, yo.
He would have to, like, bend the knee, give a speech to everybody, like, you know what? She's the best. He got to, like, do some politicking.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, because he already knows he don't want to rule anymore.
Right.
He already crispy. So, like, why?
Or maybe if he said, use that, like, you know what? I'm too weak to try to, be the king, blah, blah, blah. Rhaenyra should be. He got to do some type of politicking. I can see what you're saying, but it got to be more than bend the knee, I feel like.
Like, and we'll get to that, too, at the end, but, like.
He got to go like a Westeros tour and let everybody know.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
Yes. Like, listen, she got the drag. Because think about it. If he really locked up Aemon.
Yeah.
He can't get to Vhagar.
No.
So Vhagar just chilling. Like, Vhagar been chilling.
Right.
So, I mean, unless somebody steals Vhagar, but nobody can steal him.
They can't steal the dragon. Yeah.
They can't steal the dragon because it's already claimed until the person dies.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Because remember, they couldn't take Vhagar until.
So what I do is chain Aemon up and ride a dragon right in front of him and set his ass on fire.
You can't ride the dragon because the dragon will burn you up before you get to it.
Yeah.
Especially
no, I'm talking
Vhagar.
about whoever's with Rhaenyra that has dragons.
Rhaenyra's people.
Yeah.
Josh, let me get you here about Laris and Aegon and your thoughts on what Chloe was saying about, the whole the Aegon bending the knee possibility.
Yeah, I did think that was a solid plan. However, he didn't think it all the way through. And I felt like, again, he showed his hand too early. Well, he showed his intentions known with his moves too much. So he's not being as tidy as he used to be. So he himself is also on the mend, similar to the king that he serves.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. But at the same time, once he said that about the about the spicy sausage exploding, oh my God. Oh no. You know what? Let me tell you something. I guarantee you, all the men who are in battle with against dragons, I bet you they don't know that information. I bet you they don't know, because if they did, they ain't fighting. I'm good.
I'm good.
You ain't gonna boil me like that. Would that happen? And you can stay alive? Oh no. That's one of those things, like when you're on the battlefield, to be like, yo,
like a microwave hot dog.
Exactly. Thank you. That's gonna. If you're on the battlefield and that happened, you alive, you're gonna be like, kill me. Just give me the warrior's death now. I'm not continuing life without that.
I mean, between the burns and the fall, he really did get fucked up, Aegon. Like he messed that dude up a whole lot. So.
But again, This is, but to be fair, this is also why I said what I said in previous episodes, because okay, you have sound mind now, so why don't you go to the throne room and make some orders? What's the problem? Like, if you could speak that coherently to be
right, that's
to have
what I don't understand.
that back and forth banter, then you're cognizant enough to go to the throne room and start making some orders today, like right now.
But what about Aemon though? That's the thing. You got to talk about Aemon.
He got to die.
But that's the thing. Aemon is out patrolling with Vhagar. He's desperate, right? So all you have to do is when he goes out next, go to the throne room. Everyone makes a big commotion. All your sworn knights come to you because he's only the prince regent because the king is incapacitated.
Right.
Was he not incapacitated anymore? We done seen the previous regime, his state of decay. So I ain't trying to hear that. Go to the throne room, start making orders. But I'll allow George W.R. Martin his plot device. I'll allow it.
But you got it. No, hold on, Josh. But it's still, Aemon gonna come back home eventually. So you got to figure out what you're gonna do about Aemon when he gets back.
Big Mike, you have the entire sworn Knights Guard, and you have Vhagar, and you have Vhagar. And Vhagar's outside the castle, and Aemon's inside the castle. So how long is it going to take Aegon?
Is done.
Excuse me, Aemon to get to Vhagar?
He's done.
He's done. Put him in jail. You're done.
He's done.
You're off the board permanently. You're done. I'm gonna give you the Mace Windu.
Yep,
you're dangerous to be kept alive. Are you kidding me?
You're done.
No,
we're setting the cell on fire. That's just you're done.
Thank you. Exactly. I mean, seriously, Big Mike, you would you not do that if you had the opportunity?
At this point, though, like Lara said, okay, Aemon is my enemy. I'm Aegon, right? Aemon's my enemy. He wants my throne. But so does Rhaenyra. Aemon got a dragon. So if I get rid of Aemon and his dragon, Rhaenyra comes with 6 dragons. I'm done regardless if I'm Aegon. I'm just a lose-lose situation.
Nah.
I think Laris is right.
Nah, because he could always have that connection with his mother, Alicent and Rhaenyra. That those are the back channels. This is how business is done in Westeros. The back channels. It happens all the time.
Okay. Well, I will move on. We'll go back to that though at the end of the show. I want to quickly see if anyone of y'all touch on this because this really was a waste of time, except for the fact that we Rhaena walking around the woods, stuff like that for 2 episodes. Finally, she saw Sheep Stealer at the end of the episode, and presumably she claimed Sheep Stealer finally got her dragon, Rhaena. So I'm gonna start with Chloe, because what do you think about Rhaena and her whole story on this? Finally,
y'all know how I feel about Rhaena. She should have stayed with them little baby dragons, and she should have stayed taking care of the kings to be, because that was a very important role. And now she's gonna end up getting killed. Because if you claim a dragon, that means you gotta fight.
Yeah.
And you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is like she had 3 dragons, or at least a baby dragon and 3 eggs.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you can outlive the war.
Yeah.
Like she sent her to Safe Haven, and then she runs off. To do what? Like just being impatient, being extra. She don't even know if she could claim this dragon.
Almost froze to death at night.
Almost froze to death. For what?
Yeah, she was looking crazy out there.
That was dumb. Like that was so dumb to me. Her whole story arc is stupid to me. Like just go do what you was asked to do. Cause now who's taking care of the kids? Just some random people?
Yeah, the random people that came and got them. Yeah, from Essos. Yeah.
Abandonment.
Like I said, if she comes flying on that dragon, though, them kids really gonna have to be taken care of. They're gonna be scared. They're gonna have to do their job for real.
They gotta take care of them anyway because she left.
She ain't going there though. If she got the dragon, she would go back to Dragonstone.
Yeah, she going to Dragonstone to fight.
Yeah, because she know how to get there. But
Josh, unless she gonna take the dragon back to where the kids are. Now, if she gonna claim her dragon and then take it and then go do the rest of her duties, then that's cool.
I doubt she gonna get a whole dragon and want to be a babysitter still. She want to fight from the beginning. But let me think. What we felt about her, Rhaena, and her getting this dragon finally at the end of the day.
I'm happy to see we're adding more people to the mix of on Rhaenyra's side. To be honest, because I felt like the Green's been getting over for a minute now. So it does seem good to see that she she went. She really went for it though. Like, so I can't blame her. Now, if the dragon don't pick her or some other weird shit happen, that's on her because that was some goofy shit. But if you for sure think you can get it, then go for it.
I think at this point, go ahead, Josh. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I was gonna say they probably either start the season with that or end the first episode of the first season with that, like the continuation of that scene. I that's what I was thinking the entire time. And to me, Chloe, I understand what you're saying. I know they're trying to shoehorn some stories in because you can't always follow the book completely. Like we know that we watched Harry Potter, we read Harry Potter. It's just business. It's just Hollywood. So they're essentially, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say in the book she doesn't get the dragon. You know what I mean? Like that.
You literally just spoiled it. It's hilarious.
But she already articulated that like both E and Chloe said that they assumed that she already claimed it, even though we didn't see that yet. But we're already assuming that. So to be fair. All right. So to me, her whole reckless abandon, and you're 1,000% right, is the reason why she's going to get the dragon, and that's the reason why she didn't get the dragon before. So this whole process helped her grow, and we saw everyone in the caves get brave and bold and do something brazen, and that's how you get the dragon. That's how you gotta link and connect with the dragon. It's simple. So because she went through that hero's journey into the wilderness, if you will, that's why she's going to earn the dragon, and that's why to me the story makes sense, because her entire life she's always done what she's told. But once you're in that Targaryen royalty nobility world, everything is about legacy, and her legacy when she left was that her Rhaenyra was up against the ropes. She was going off to guard the young princess, the lineage, right? But she was at no part in the battle at all. She's not going to be remembered in the history books. Was she going to be remembered for being a nun, an au pair? No, she wants to be on the chessboard. She wants to fight for her family, and I get it.
Yeah, I can't. Where you guys at? Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Josh. Yeah, and the so I think they took us on this whole journey for a whole season where she better get the dragon at the end of the day. At this particular point, and that dragon is you know what I mean. E? So and we said walking in the woods, freezing to death, starving to death. She better get the dragon. Now it's not a spoiler for the show because in the book, Josh is right. It's not her dragon at all. It belongs to another character named Nettles, actually another black character, as well, another chick. But we'll see. Hopefully, she does do something in the war that's spectacular, and we'll get a chance to see that. I was trying to see that button. I could what's that? Use the share screen. That's all the show. Hold on. There you go. So if y'all can see that, that is actually where's that? That's Sheep Stealer right there. And that's the chick in the book Nettles. That's not Rhaena.
Okay.
Actually, but it's a black chick though. Actually.
Okay, so they stuck with okay. I see what they did there.
Right.
I guess they didn't want to make it too complicated, so they just stuck with somebody.
Yeah, and they got rid of another, character. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. But anyway, moving forward, the next scene we see Jace back at Dragonstone, but we see Ulf and we see Hugh. But Ulf is getting real comfortable. He got his feet up at the main table on Rhaenyra's side, by the way. And Jace says, "What you doing?" Ulf is like, "Look, man, we both dragon riders. You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference? We just the same." And then Hugh got to tell him, "Listen, he actually the prince though." And the Ulf is all like, trying to get right. And then Jace wanted an apology, but it was proven Jace's point that once they all became dragon riders, the dudes wouldn't feel like we're the same now. So, E, how you feel about that scene?
Yeah, I thought Son was wild and he was mad disrespectful, man. And for real, her son should have knuckled him up, like straight punched him right in his mouth and let him know what type time they was really on. Like, if you gonna be this is how you really gonna be. Don't be coming up in here fooling around, putting your feet on shit, especially my mom's shit. You got me fucked up. So yeah, He came correct. I ain't gonna lie, he came. I mean, it'd have been better if he put hands on him, but he came correct.
All right, Chloe, what's your thoughts on Jason and Ulf? at that scene?
This is just lack of what's the word? When you make decisions out of desperation, it's not always the best decision. So in my opinion, Rhaenyra, like Jace, he is whining a little bit, right? He whining a lot. But Rhaenyra did just kind of let some weirdo into the castle. Like, weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't do any type of vetting of anybody.
Right.
Like, they did that way too quick. Like, she should have maybe had whoever come and then sit down and talk with each of them. Right. That would have been the smarter thing to do. And then only let the ones that were worthy even get a chance to get the dragon. Because initially, the other guy who got burnt up, he was like a knight, he was respectable, all this stuff. And just because you're lowborn doesn't mean you're not respectable. Mm-hmm. Like what's his name? What's the guy I like?
Adam?
No. Well, I like Adam too, but the white dude with the long hair. Hugh. Yeah. Like Hugh and Adam clearly have like coof.
Yeah.
But she just let any old body up in there, which I feel like it's gonna be to her detriment at some point because ain't no way he should know. You in the castle, you got your feet up.
Yeah.
But my whole thing is this: like, I think that when Daemon comes back, it's gonna be a whole nother ball game because Daemon don't play that.
Oh God, it is.
Daemon do not play that. Daemon will slice his head off and go find somebody else.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm sorry.
Oh, so like, yeah. So I think when Daemon come home, when Daddy come home, it's gonna be a whole new, mood up in there. They ain't gonna be, Oof ain't gonna be like that. Oof gonna shut up or leave.
Jason off, Josh. What are your thoughts on that scene at the table?
Man, Ulf was acting like a oof.
Right.
I mean, he got to be a fool. That's ridiculous. And even though you're lowborn, you should have some sense about you. That's all I'm saying. Like,
right. Yeah.
I'm sure there's moments where he went to go dine at someone else's parents' house or tavern or whatever, and he would be a little bit more respectful. You can't act like you at the bar.
He wasn't acting like that in the bar, though.
But yeah, I think that if Jace actually put hands on him, he probably would have got the better of Jace at this moment in time, and that would make him even more mad.
I think Jace got it. Jace.
I don't think so yet. Not yet.
You don't think so yet?
There are knights in that castle. Jace got a sword. I'll say, I know you got a dragon now. You got to get to the dragon. We're going to see before we get there. That's what I would tell straight up.
No, you're right. But to be fair, you also right about the knights. I totally forgot about them because they still in that room. Yeah. So my question is, why didn't they regulate? Like, shape up. You know what I mean? Like, matter of fact, Jay shouldn't have to say nothing. The knight should have took care of that, to be honest. So, but yeah, I thought that was a great introduction to how their interactions are going to be, and then as you guys said, how other characters will react to them. People like Daemon. I'm curious what someone like Corlys is going to say to them, or specifically Ulf. But Hugh is incredibly well mannered, and he was in fact the only one who actually looks and was acting like he belonged there. So I thought that was interesting as well.
Well, speaking of, Hugh had a lot of loss too. You know, he lost his daughter. He wanted to do it for his wife. So he was like trying to do the right thing. Ulf seemed like his life was already. I mean, it's one thing to be like just lowborn, but Ulf already had a horrible life. Besides the lowborn part, he was getting drunk every day. He had no woman, no kids. So I feel like that's just like. I'm with Chloe. She probably should have vetted him a little bit. You know what I mean? But speaking of Corlys, next scene was him with Rhaenyra, and they're talking about the dragons, and they saying, okay, now she got, at this point, Corlys says 6 because he don't count Daemon yet at this point, but she got 6. They say Vhagar's there, and she said, I thought that by me having more dragons, Aemon would back down. We all know that was never gonna happen. So. Corlys said, look, you got to strike. Aemon ain't going to never back down. Plus, he got Daeron, his brother, who's coming from Old Town. And then she forgot about Dreamfire that Helena got, Rhaenyra. But she said, I'm not worried about Helena or whatever, Dreamfire. But then also, when Rhaenyra asks Corlys about Adam, because he was like, well, he was, working for you, right? You know him? Corliss like, oh yeah. He used to work for me. Hey, cool. You know what I mean? So that made me laugh too. But anyway, Josh, I'll start with you this time. Corliss and Renee, how you feel about this scene?
Yeah, I thought it was great to see their chemistry is very, very good. I would say it was probably the best. I would say ruler and I guess hand of the king or hand of the queen that I've seen since, I would say, even with Otto last season, because I thought Otto was a lot better than he was obviously towards the end. That's different, but in the beginning, I thought he was solid. You know what I mean? And to me, Corliss has always been a keen mind for strategy. And unfortunately, because of the passing of Rhaenys, the queen who never was, the new ship name, right? Because of that, he gets to focus on more and have some more redemption for his own personal sins. So I think, to me, that set up a great story arc for but 3 characters specifically, of course, next season.
I forgot about that. He renamed the ship from the sea snake to the queen who never was. So as well, Chloe, how you feel about Corliss and Rhaenyra in this scene?
Well, Corliss guys, he told her, like, listen, you gotta go. You better hurry. You better strike while the iron's hot. Okay, you got 6 dragons. What are you waiting for? That's all I remember him saying. And you know, it also was kind of interesting because it's like, if he's the hand, how he gonna be on a ship in the ocean?
Well, the same way that Cole is the hand, supposedly, he's out of war.
And he out at war,
which makes no sense.
I mean, you're right. I agree with you.
Like, how is my advisor in battle so it could get blown up or melted or drowned?
I kind of agree because Game of Thrones, all the hands were right there every day. So
like
maybe that's why they changed that rule or something. We'll see that.
That's a good thought. Yeah, you're right. So,
well, she got Mysteria or whatever her name is, but
her piece, her side piece. Whatever it was.
Her and Damon's side piece.
Right.
She ain't slick. Mysteria ain't slick. I see right through her. Now she's trying to gas her up. We gonna see.
Hey, how you feel about Corliss in this scene over there?
All right, so I like the chat. I like that he's doing everything, for old girl that passed, because that was my dog for real. She was an authentic warrior. So I was feeling that. And my problem with Rhaenyra is, come on, all right, enough is enough with the wait, so scared to strike and on the innocent people. Yes. Innocent people are going to die because
it's a war.
They're dragons. It's a war. Right. It's casualties. Right. Collateral damage. There you go. Yeah. So it's going to be a lot of collateral damage. Right. But it's time to hit the shit now. It's time to fuck shit up. Fuck that talking shit. It's time to fuck shit up. Because if you was fucking shit up already, you probably could have stopped aiming from killing that little town that represented you so much.
I agree with you. But Sir Alfred winds up in Harrenhal to talk to Daemon. Now, Daemon got all his whole army now, and everybody, doing their thing. Sir Alfred go up in there. He was sent by Rhaenyra to see what's going on with Daemon, but he has decided to go turncoat and tell him she ain't know what she's supposed to do. I think everybody should ride with you. So I think you should be king, and I'm rolling with you. But then Sir Simon sees it and sends a letter to Raven to Rhaenyra about what's going on. So let's go back to you, Josh. How you felt about that whole scene with Alfred and Simon and Daemon?
It's very interesting. Unfortunately for Sir Alfred, his timing is awful. If you would have did that, like a week or two ago, right. That'd be exactly what David wanted to hear, right? Like,
right. He did that.
Yeah, right. But now Daemon is transformed because of his visions, and we'll get into that later.
Yep.
And because of that, Daemon's a different person. Yep. So what motivated him before is a little bit different than what motivates him now. And it's going to be interesting to see how everyone else at Dragonstone and reacts to that next season. I think that's a great setup as well. But at the same time, for me with Daemon, I love the fact, especially with Matt Smith, got a good credit to Matt Smith. You never know where his cards are. And I think that's great. It reminds me of Mando because it's like he has the helmet on. You can't see which way he's going to go. Right. You can't really judge what he's going to do. So I always appreciate that acting from Matt Smith And it's also curious, and we'll get into what he did at the end of the episode, but it's interesting that Damon still allowed him to live as well. And to be fair, you almost saw shades of old Damon, because it was almost as if he like was impressed or admired the bravery to say it.
I think he did admire him to even say that. Yeah. I did.
And to be fair, he said he would never serve the others. So to me, you were speaking frankly. Does it flirt with treason a little bit? Yes, but at the same time, you yourself, Damon, have already stated in court you wanted to be king. Yeah. So it to me, it's on that, it's tippy-toeing on the border of treason versus just speaking honestly.
Yeah, this is my guy, Sir Simon, hiding in the background taking notes to say something. So I love that. But how you felt about that scene?
See, I read it all differently. I love Damon at Harrenhal. Y'all ain't like it. Y'all was sleeping on Damon at Harrenhal. I loved it because I seen him go through his journey. And so for me, when Sir Simon, what's the dude name?
The dude which one? The one that tried to
Alfred. Sir Alfred. I'm making up names over here. Sir Simon. Sir Alfred, when he was talking to Damon, I already knew what time it was. Damon looking like I never picked you to be a turncoat or whatever he said. Yeah. Like, bro, you set tripping, and so you're a traitor now, and he knows how ruthless Damon is. So for him to even say that to Damon,
that was ballsy.
He should never said nothing. Like, I feel like certain things don't need to be said. Certain things don't need to be said. You could just, I feel like in Game of Thrones, you could just be ambiguous, which is why I messed with Damon. Because, like, when he said, they were like, oh, what do we do if the son's not available? He said, ambiguous. And let it go do its thing. So he could never say, hey, I told him to do it. So, like, Sir Simon, he should have never said nothing out loud. He should have just, followed the lead. He should have just been quiet, because I feel like that's going to come and bite him in the butt.
Yeah, he felt about him being a turncoat real quick in that scene.
Yeah, I thought he was out of pocket for real. Like, even like Damien definitely needed to hear that, but he needed to hear that way before that. So him saying it now was like it was worthless. And he tried to gas it up too. Like I peeped him. He tried to really gas that speech up. He buttered him up with that. But like I said, Damien's a wild card. You know what I'm saying? You can't tame him.
Yeah, I agree. Now, this question comes from the last Outlaw. Thanks for watching too, by the way. I'm gonna read it. He says, I don't trust these dragon seeds at all. Do you guys think Oath and Hugh will betray the Greens? He means the Blacks, though. And I'm thinking they'll flip or do something stupid. So what y'all think? Let me ask Chloe and E. We think Oath and Hugh gonna betray Rhaenyra, the new dragon seeds?
See, I already thought Oath betrayed her when he took the dragon and rode it all the way back to King's Landing. Remember last episode when he claimed the dragon and he rode over there? I thought he was like, oh, I got a dragon, now I'm back, y'all. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
If I were them and I ain't want no parts of the war, I would just take my dragon and fly to Essos. What's the place? Essos?
Yeah.
Me and my dragon would be out.
I kind of like Oath a little bit.
He said hate. I kind of hate Oath a little bit.
Oh, okay. E, what do you think? They're going to turn on her, or do you think they're going to still stand by her?
Well, I hope the one with the second biggest dragon rock with her. And Oath, I don't care. I hope he get killed, because that nigga weak. He weird. I don't got time for that weird shit. And I hope they spot that shit, man. Don't make this shit all goofy where they can't tell if he's a traitor. Like, I felt already there, you know what I mean? People could tell he's a coward.
But what's the name not going to turn on her? Because remember, the Blacks, the Greens owe him money. They never pay him. That's why his baby died.
Yep.
That's true.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere. Going nowhere.
Oh.
Right.
So he ain't going nowhere. He loyal. And Sea Snake Rider.
He good too. Nowhere. Adam ain't going nowhere.
Adam ain't going nowhere. But Oath, he might just go to Essos. I could see him leaving. Like, if all y'all, I'm out.
Yeah, That'd be like us flying to Paris, like across the ocean, basically, is what Essos would be. So, yeah, that's a good thoughts, man. You know, we'll see what happens next season. I know the answers, obviously, but next season. Now, Aemon is back in the castle, barking out orders, and he's telling them to, like, you know, let the people not leave the city at all when he finds out that Rhaenyra got those seeds from the small folk. And the guy says, well, you know, they're going to really starve now. He's like, listen, better starve than be dead. So he don't care about nothing. Then he goes in his sister room after we see Alicent try to get her to leave. So I'm tying this all together. And Helena's like, where the hell are we going to go, basically. But Aemon says, look, I need you right now. Let's go. Hop on Drainfire. We got to do this together. And then Helena says, I won't burn nobody. And he tried to talk her into it. And then basically he tried to pull her into it forcefully. And Alicent has to step in. And he finally leaves on his own at that point. So, how you felt about Aemon there and him trying to forcefully get her to ride her dragon and also, you know, starving the people and all that stuff?
I feel like, all right, so it just made me, I already ain't like the fool, so now I really don't like him. You know what I mean? Like it showed his intentions, and it showed him he's a bad guy. It gave us the side to look at. You know what I mean? Before I just felt like, you know, he was riding for his family. That's just what it is. But nah, son off his rockers for real. And then, you know, that's your sister. You know your sister don't got no combat. She don't got no combat training, right? Yeah, what the fuck good is she? She ain't got no combat training.
She got a dragon. That's what you feel like.
Yeah, but that's just what you gonna do with that? Yes, your brother had just a dragon.
Yeah.
And he had combat training.
True. Let me get back to Chloe. I'll go around. Chloe, how you felt about Aemon and these things here?
I'm gonna just say everybody got read this episode.
Okay.
Aemon got read. His mother was like, "You over here burning up the place, and you want to bring your sister into this? She's the only one who is sane and healthy in this family. And you trying to ruin her again?" And then she said, "You over here trying to be strong. You like she like you a little boy. You still got issues from your childhood."
Yeah.
So she read him. And then, you know, Helena, we'll get to that, but she read. Everybody is just getting read this episode, and I love it. Everybody getting read.
And she said, bro, remember, she is still the queen. You're the Prince Regent. Don't forget about that. So I like that, too. She told him. But,
and I think that Alicent trying to get the hell up out of Dodge. She trying to pull a Aegon.
Everybody try to dip now.
Everybody try to dip. Like, you started this and you try to dip. You try to take your daughter and leave. It's too late. You should have been did that. You should have, as soon as war was afoot, you should have left.
Josh, how you feeling about your boy Aemon and his orders, you know, with the people and also trying to get his sister to ride her dragon?
Got to be a fool.
Just letting his emotions get the best of him. I mean, you did all that strategy with Sir Crispy Cole, and it ain't do nothing. It ain't bear no fruit. You still being impatient and impulsive, which is the reason why the war has already started, because you and your dragon are impulsive. So it's just more of the same. He just did that to the town at the beginning of the episode, burned them up. They ain't even do nothing to him. They didn't even know what you look like, and you burned them up. It's crazy, but anyway.
Right, imagine all the people just set on fire for nothing. Don't even know what's going on.
You know what I mean? You just like
in the house sleep. Like, yo,
that's crazy. Like, that's messed up. And to be fair, even though Alicent is 1,000% right, and I agree with you, Chloe, I still don't think she has the place to be reading anyone still and try to act motherly. Like, again, too little, too late, and you're about what, a decade or two too late. Like, where was this when they were growing up and they wouldn't have grown into this? So, so that's why I'm like, really? It's like the cat or the dog yelling at and barking at their tail. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's part of you. That represents you. So that's the other thing. So I was like, all right, but she wasn't wrong, to be fair. But at the same time, you know, Helena ain't about that life. Literally the most peaceful person in the kingdom. It's like asking someone for $1 million knowing they don't got $1 million to give. It's like you trying to act tough. It just looks silly. This look really silly and weak. He should have went to his was it Madam of the Evening? He should have went to her with that nonsense and get in the fetal position. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes back to your previous question, Chloe. Her dragon's there, Helena, but he can't get nobody else to ride it, so that's why he can't steal dragons. Only ride for Helena.
Oh no, I knew her dragon was there. I knew Helena had her dragon because that's what's the name said. Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra. Yeah. Rhaenyra was like, "Oh, she's but a child. She's not going to ride the dragon." And next thing, he like, "Yo, you get on this dragon now, I'm gonna kill you." And she like, so you think
that dragon probably like, I ain't seen you in a long time. But it's Helena like.
Helena, she probably be chilling. She probably be riding that dragon. Nobody knows.
Allison's the worst person ever. Evil, worst name. Okay.
Allison's the hot mess. She been a hot mess.
Shout out to Will. What up, Will?
Simply Pawn Gaming. This finale was like this for Eve. Being told Christmas is coming for months, and Christmas Eve Santa died in a horrible accident, and there were no presents. That's what Eve
thought. I was like, yo, where is the where's the excitement? That's how I felt too, bro. They cheated. The people that like excitement, they cheated us.
It was very exciting. I was very excited this episode. Y'all forget it's only 4 seasons.
So what?
So next season, next season is going to be E-Money's favorite season of all time.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be dinosaurs with guns shooting. We're gonna be fighting up a storm next season, so don't you worry. We gotta wait 2 years, but it's coming.
Yeah, I'll get to my thoughts about the season and what he's talking about later on. Somebody else had a comment. I'm sorry. Aegon didn't even want to be king. Alicent forced, and now he's been deformed.
Now his sausage exploded. It's over for him. It's over for him.
This is true. Alicent, I guess she's the villain more than anybody, I guess, into this thing.
But did Alicent force it, or did her father force it?
Otto really forced Alicent to kind of do it, if you ask me. But Alicent kind of egged it on because she kept saying, I remember Alicent didn't really like, she was hating on Rhaenyra at the time. So she was loving it, too, at the same time. So.
But okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate because I don't like Alicent, right?
Yeah.
And I think that if you look at it from a bigger point of view, her father manipulated her since she was a child.
Yes.
Since she was a child. So she is kind of a victim as well.
That's true.
And then she was, we'll touch on that when she gives her little soliloquy at the end. But she did kind of get forced into marrying this dude, giving him children. And then on his deathbed, he did say amen. Should be the king.
Well, he said it.
Aegon.
Yeah, but the princess was promised, but
because she was on board. She was on board with Alicent until, Alicent was on board with Rhaenyra until.
The problem was she went into Otto what she thought she heard, and then Otto was like, "Ho, for real? All right, boom, we're gonna rush him in, make him king before we told it." Like they didn't even tell Rhaenyra her dad died yet before they made Aegon king. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
He said it, and she heard him say it on his deathbed.
Nah,
and that's her husband.
She heard that. She know what she heard.
Right. She interpreted it.
Right. She know what she heard.
Right. Like I'm like, did Viserys even get a funeral? I don't even got a funeral because it was so busy trying to make who was king. Like it's wild. But we think about it. But nevertheless, speaking of Alicent, her lover, Crispy Cole, is in the forest looking at one of her favors that he left her with her AO in there. And I guess Gawain, they finally put it together, her brother. And he see him touching her scarf or whatever. And he put the sword to Cole and say, "Have you no honor? You're supposed to be a knight. But you run sleep with the queen." And then Cole is just, look, I love her. I was sleeping with her. I know I was messed up. But we're all going to die anyway. Because these dragons, as the close point, we ain't nothing but men. The dragons ain't nothing to mess with. And then I guess Gawain kind of says, "You right." But, John, you put about the same with Gawain and Cole. So.
some more fake tough guy stuff. Like, listen, bro. Like, even then, all the nights you traveling with, all the warriors you traveling with, already know that. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So, like, what are you tripping for? And then also, it took you this long to figure it out. That's the most embarrassing part. And again, I agree with everything Sir Crispy Cole said because he had a moment of clarity. He know he's marching to his death.
Yeah.
He's embracing it. So it's like, do I really care? Like, he already ascended higher than he ever should have, traditionally. So the fact that he would go out in a blaze of glory this way, a warrior's death, and he's a fierce warrior. He's given him literally everything he ever wanted in life and more. So he's great.
Okay, Chloe, how you feel about Gawain, Sir Gawain, and Kristen Cole right there?
I think that Josh hit on something very important. Like, I feel like the Greens were just living in like a fantasy world, and they put things into motion that caused all of this to happen because they were in fantasy world, the Lululand, and now that it's actually hitting them, they're actually experiencing these moments of clarity and their role in all of this. Like Alicent, she came to her awakening this episode. Kristen Cole, this is the most I ever liked him this whole season because I was just like, finally, you're having an existential crisis and you know what's about to go down. And it took him going into battle because they had all these plans. They were sitting on a chessboard with the gold pieces on a map with the gold piece. Like, yeah, we're gonna do this and do that. They never knew. Nobody in these times ever even knew war. Like, even Kristen Cole never knew war.
Right.
He knew war, but not real war. He knew like little bits and pieces. He knew how to chop somebody's head off, but he never seen like war. And so when the dragons came through and it was melting people left and right, then it hit him like, oh my God. Remember when he touched the dude and it was just dust? I thought that was Gawain, but it wasn't. And then he saw the people melting, and he just saw like on both sides, like these dragons don't care about nothing. When a man meets war, man changes. Yep, the effects are different for all the characters. Right? Yep, facts. So I thought I think that was the most poetic. I didn't know he was that poetic. He should have been spitting that game to Rhaenyra. Maybe she would have went and sold the oranges for him. Because that was a poem. Okay? That was a real poem, he said.
He should have had some better games about them oranges. But E, how you felt about her brother figuring out that he was smashing Alicent and put a knife to him over at that point?
Man, well, I've been felt like the brother ain't like him like that in the first place. And always had his eye on him in a funny way. So it made sense when he found out how he was tripping and acting. But for real, I like that Sir Cole is suffering. Good. Yeah. All that shit he was doing, good. Yeah, suffering. Yeah, now you see you small. You're an ant to a fucking dragon. That bothers you, doesn't it? That kills your pride. Now you sitting up there wishing for death.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And I hope he don't die. I hope he lives to the end, and then I hope he sees everything around him crumble.
No, I hope the last thing he sees is a dragon.
Nah, that's a quick death. That's like in spoiler alert, but that's like how Cersei and what's the name died was not good enough for me.
Oh yeah, I hated that. Yeah.
So I hope I hope this is redemption for them for Game of Thrones because that stuck.
Yeah,
I always assumed it was gonna be better in the books.
Yeah, we didn't get to the end of the books. You're right, Josh. So we get to this dinner back at Rhaenyra's table with all her new dragon riders, and including also Baela and Jace. And she lets them know as she's wearing her crown. Listen, when we win this war, basically because you guys are helping me win the war, I will make you all knights. And Adam and Hugh were like very happy to hear that, and that's what Hugh wanted for his wife. And then Oath is being disrespectful again. And then he's like, well, make me a knight now, basically. But then he also going back and forth with Adam about who's going to be better in the field and stuff like that. So there's a lot of back and forth happening. And then in the middle, it gets broken up by somebody coming and telling her Sir Simon about Damon and Alfred, and then she takes Adam and leaves. So back to Chloe, how you feel about the whole dinner scene there?
It's about to go down.
Okay.
Oath he about to run and hide because they'll always be the ones talking the most smack. And he's gonna be the traitor. I could just see it happening. But also, Jace was sitting there pouting. Did we miss the pouting scene?
I skipped
when
over
he was pouting.
Well, you can talk about if you want to, though.
He's like,
He always pouting. He be having the lips, duck lips almost looking like whatever they pouting.
Yeah, his wife like, man, you ain't the first one in history that's a bastard. If you don't snap out of it, I'm like, how did she become so down to earth? Is it just because she's black? Like, I'm like, is this just a black experience? Because I'm confused.
Yes, he's a bastard. Okay, but he's a high-born bastard. He lived in castles his whole life. He ate good. He had money. Like it's level. You should be fine, Jace. Like you tripping.
Right.
Even Jon Snow, who lived in Winterfell, was treated like crap by Catelyn Stark. You know what I mean? So he was like this kid here was treated like a great bastard. Honestly, Jace. So.
But he's not a bastard according to the books. Okay. Jace, according to history, he's not a bastard.
Right.
We only know he's a bastard. So for him to be doing all this extra stuff is ridiculous. Somebody's head got chopped off for calling his mother a whore, and they call him a bastard. So like, bro, like you letting people know you a bastard.
No, sorry.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Hey, how you feel about Dennis Hayward with Oath and Adam and the whole all of it?
All right, so first I want to smack Oath because he was wilding asking about the chicken in that way, in that manner, in front of the queen. Like, come on, man. Why they ain't jump him by now? Like, I'd have whooped his ass.
They still need him to ride the dragon.
Hey, you can ride it, but you're going to get your ass whooped right now. Right now, you're going to get your ass whooped because that shit is ridiculous, man. The disrespect in front of the queen is like out of pocket.
He's not even fit to be a knight if he did ride.
Right. Oh, you better make me a knight. Why, you bitch ass nigga? Why you got to be a knight? You tell me why. What you offer besides the dragon I gave
more of those little birds. Kept saying that at the table by the chicken. He kept saying, more of those little birds.
Yeah, more of these little birds. Yeah. I guess they was what's some shit's called quail.
Cornish hens.
Cornish hens. Okay.
The little birds. He was okay. In Oath's defense, all they've been eating is fish for the last 10 years.
Right, but the other ones that have been eating fish for the last 10 years are sitting there eating politely and enjoying their meal.
Because what's his name? Adam, he likes fish. He's a seaman.
Right.
The other one.
Hugh. Yeah.
He just want anything.
Yeah, he was fucking it up.
He was hungry.
Who be smelling over some lettuce? He punched a nigga in the face over some lettuce, so he didn't care what it was. Stuff like that.
But also, what's good? Hugh ain't go back and save his wife.
What you mean save her? How you gonna save her?
Yeah,
what you mean? How he gonna save her? He better get her a little boat. He should have brought her ass with him. Like, listen, you coming with me? And
it's a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
I'd have been like, yeah, she's a Targaryen too.
What's the deed is done, your wife is good.
Right. Once you become a knight and all that stuff. Right
now, once I claim a dragon, I'm flying my ass over there and picking my wife up. Let's go.
And taking her where?
Her ass a boat. No, he could bring her back to the castle. He has a dragon.
It's not his castle. How you gonna say bring her back to the castle?
He has a dragon, Mike.
Oh, what?
If Oak could put his feet up on the table and they don't say nothing, you don't think he could bring his wife?
No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
His wife to the castle. No. Now, maybe he could say, "Listen, Rhaenyra, I got this wife. She's still stuck there."
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah,
Mike, that's the whole point.
But not just like.
Why wouldn't he ask her?
I mean, he could have. It's a point, but then it becomes like everybody coming now. Like
it ain't everybody. My wife, our kid just died. If you want me to ride this dragon, bring her over here because we about to burn her ass up. By accident. Like
that's a good point. Yeah, they are going to. Well, we'll see. Josh, how you feel about the dinner table scene?
Yeah, Oath. Yeah, I looked at Rhaenyra's face the entire time, and her eyes were like,
"Silence is fucking golden."
Right.
Like, why, Ulf? Why do you insist about yourself? Like, do you really not have that level of self-awareness? Like, I know you're a lowborn. I know you're the common folk, but even common folk got some common sense at times. And at least most people tend to like shape up around nobility or police, or in this case, knights. You know what I mean? Those are the times you like shape up. And he still got dirt on his face. He had access to, the better accommodations. He could have, did essentially groom himself, but he ain't do none of that. Had his feet on the table, being incredibly obnoxious. I'm surprised he's been able to survive in King's Landing or wherever he was talking like that, and ain't nobody chip him. Like, how did that never happen? Like, they should have been like having a duel with this fool for acting like that. Surely someone had to do that. So that's why I'm like, I feel like it may be a little bit of a plot device, but since I am aware of how it ends, I won't say anything else.
Yeah, he was a flea bottom part of King's Landing. I agree with you, Josh. So next we get Daemon and his dream we talked about. So he's already sleeping. This time, instead of like going in his dreams, the witch will show up on his bed. He wake up and she right there. And he like, do you sleep? She like, no, whatever. But he said, I'm going to the Godswood, take him out there, he put his hand on the tree, has all the visions, and he winds up seeing Rhaenyra on the Iron Throne for the first time. The old Rhaenyra. And he sees the prince that was promised. He sees the White Walker. He sees Daenerys and her 3 dragons. He sees dragons being slain. He sees a lot of stuff. And brings him to this epiphany, which we'll see later on play out. But Josh, we'll come right back to you. How do you feel about Daemon's visions at this point? This right.
Oh, I thought this is beautiful. I honestly think this is the climax of the season. Simply because, to me, this is Jon Snow finding out he's the prince that was promised. Yeah. To me, this is Daemon understanding that his brother wasn't an old fool with his head in the books, looking about prophecy and all this. Then he completely understands why he chose Rhaenyra as queen, because of this looming threat. He saw his visions were the Song of Ice and Fire. So he understood his mission. So to me, that was like the moment of clarity that Daemon needed throughout his entire arc.
And I forgot to mention Helena was a part of the vision too, telling him, you're only a small part of the story. Basically play your part, but it's a bigger story to be told.
Absolutely. So it was interesting how they did that, I guess, similar to that CIA experiment, right? Where you're able to do that. And the same way that they had it in Stranger Things. So it was interesting that they incorporated that. I see a lot more IPs incorporating that ability as well. So I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, the comment says, can you imagine seeing a story arc and you don't understand it, only know to play a small part? Now must see it come to fruition, which Daemon is going through. I'll go back on you this time. How you felt about Daemon having this vision?
I'm glad Daemon had this vision, because it set Daemon up for what I want him for, and that's ready for war. So, of course, I'm glad Daemon, went through everything. I mean, the vision still was trippy, even though I kind of knew what was going on, seeing Daenerys and all that. There were some things I didn't get. Like, was I tweaking? Was there a guy with a goat head or some shit? Or, like, antlers? I don't know. I thought I saw a whole bunch of types of crazy shit.
That was no. The antler dude was when he saw the Sir Alfred. When he walked out there to see Sir Alfred. That's when the antler dude popped up. Okay. And it was like traitor.
Yeah. You heard the whisper too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Since you've been loving Daemon and Harrenhal, how you like this climax, his final vision with the werewolf tree?
Yeah, she been putting him through Hades. He went through all the stages of remorse, grief, and then he finally got to the final stage of acceptance. And it was funny because when she walked him to the tree, she was like, "Oh," she asked him something, and he was like, "Whatever." He's like, "At this point, I'm not even gonna object to it. Just let it happen." He's like, "You've been torturing me so much out here. Like, whatever." I agree.
He didn't even say, "Why you in my room?" He said, "Do you sleep?" Because she at the edge of his bed while he sleep.
That's his girlfriend. That's his girlfriend. That's his other, you know.
That probably threw her wild too, that she don't scare him like that, like, you know, just popping around.
Yeah.
She primed him. She's been priming him since he arrived because she knows her part, and her part was to get Damon to this point where he's able to understand how to play his part. Because if she, like, think about it, if day one he just would have went and touched the tree, he wouldn't have believed it. He'd be like, "What kind of voodoo magic?" But because he went through all them nights, them terrors, and them experiences for however long he was there. How long he was there for?
He's been there probably now about 2 months, I would say.
Oh, it's been months. Okay, so months, yeah. So he been through 2 months of torture, and and fighting his demons. He fought every single demon he had there. Yeah. Every demon he had, he fought. Yeah. And so now he like, whatever. What you got to show me now? She like, you want to see your future? You seen your past. Somebody said, I was reading something and it was like, this was like the what's that? The Scrooge, Mr. Scrooge, and he sees the ghost from the present, the future, and the past. This is literally what Damon went through in the Luigi's Haunted Mansion. But yeah, that was lit. I liked it. That was my favorite part.
Eyes open with my sword on there.
You don't know when he's sleeping or when he's awake. That's the other part. Remember?
Yeah, no.
He ain't know. He was sleepwalking. He would be in a dream and wake up at the table eating. Like, he had no idea.
What did everything think of the Night King different face? I thought that House of the Dragon is a bigger budget. No, I just thought that it does though. I'm gonna get to that later on. It actually does, but I don't know. It's weird. But it also had hair, so I'm like, I'm trying to say that it was Targaryen House of the Dragon because it had like the white hair too. So remember the one that the Night King from Game of Thrones had like the crown top, like no hair.
Yeah,
so
he had no hair.
Yeah, so I was like trying to say that's a part of the lineage, maybe. I'm not sure. And also, was that the Night King or just like a soldier, like a White Walker? That seems more like a soldier to me.
Exactly. Or was that Damon?
Yeah, it could have been. That's a good call. That's a good
also,
call.
Damon's a White Walker.
That's a good call. And Josh says Damon and Helena give us spoiler by showing his death. Well, yes, a partial spoiler or whatever. I will give you that. And speaking of that partial spoiler, she also then talked to Aemon. And so Aemon tries another approach. He comes to her nicely and says, Sister, would you ride the dragon for me? And she's like, nah, I'm not doing it. And he's like, we're Targaryens. Our mother don't know what it's like to be dragon riders. We have a duty. And she says, if I don't, are you going to burn me like you did Aegon? And he says, that's a lie. And she says, I saw it. I saw the shit, basically. And she's like, I know you did it. You let him fall. And you're going to die too. And Aegon's going to be king again. And he says, that's treason. I could have you killed. And she says, that wouldn't change nothing. You're still going to die, basically. Mm-hmm. So, how you feel about the scene between Helena and Aemon there, bro?
Man, I liked how the sister was ripping him up like that. And I seen the fear in his face when she told him the way he was going to die all alone and by himself. I liked how she said Aegon reigned again, but I could have sworn he dipped off, but maybe there's more to the story on that.
Yeah, let me answer this question real quick. He says, why don't they fly dragons and search for White Walkers, or are they not out there? He says, I see that, I fly to burn it. Basically, he's saying, why don't they fly to go on offense, is what he's asking. So, there's a princess who tried to fly her dragon beyond the wall, but the dragon would not go. And they said in episode 1, before all this takes place, the dragon knows, so the dragon refuses to go beyond the wall. So that's why they don't just fly and try to find them. They can't, basically. And yes, there's more to Aegon's story. Josh, how you felt about Aemon and Helena right there?
Obviously, he should have had this approach the first time. And, it still would be the same outcome. And it was interesting that Helena essentially tells Aemon how he's gonna die, and the path that he's on is essentially barreling right towards that. So if he had any common sense, he would assess, be introspective, and be like, perhaps we should not go down this course of action of being brash, and blood and fire, right? Perhaps we should avoid the dance of dragons, even though it's going to be great, and hopefully they got the budget to do it correctly. But we'll talk about that later. And to me, I thought it was a great scene for Helena to flex her third-eyed raven muscles, if you will, her seeing muscles. So I thought that was cool too.
Happy made it back close. The question was about Helena and Aemon, and when she kind of read him again there. How you felt about that scene?
Well, best scene ever. Like I said, this whole episode was just filled with awesome scenes. First of all, nobody wanted to believe her when she was talking all of that future stuff this whole season, in last season. So it's so funny that she's being very clear and precise with everybody. Like, yeah, I seen your death. Oh, you want to grab me by the arm? You want to do that? Watch this. I'm about to F your whole life up.
And she said, I seen you burn Aegon. I seen it.
So yeah, she said, I saw it. Like, what you mean?
He looked like a smooth sucker when she said that.
Yeah. He was looking like, oh, treason. She like, it don't matter. She like, burn me if you want. You still gonna die that way. That's the ultimate petty. Like, yo, she hit him with the left right combo. She knocked him right out.
The crazy part is that because she didn't spoil how he died, she said basically where you're gonna die. But the crazy part, if she told me that, I'll believe her. I ain't going there ever in my life. If I was, one of them. But
it wouldn't matter because fate. what I'm learning is the story's already written.
Right.
So it's like
fate, basically, yeah, I know.
It is what it is, and it's so crazy, and it makes you think back. Like we always knew she was like clairvoyant, but we didn't know exactly how much clairvoyant she was. So when you go back to the scene of her with her two kids, and she told told Cheese and Blood, which one was the boy.
Yeah.
She already seen that happening.
Yeah.
So it's like she's going through torture, going through these things she already knows is going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like now I feel like she's come to a point of acceptance too. Like, well, try it if you want. I already know how my story is. I know the part I have to play.
Yeah. And she played a good part in Daemon's story too, I guess. So yeah. After Rhaenyra goes to see Daemon, she tired of seeing the other people there. She said, I'm going myself. She takes Adam with her, see Smoke, just in case Daemon feel froggy with his dragon. She said, I'll come with two, or whatever like that. Karak sees her dragon, drops her off. She walks up. Sir Simon is happy to see her. You know what I mean? And then she walks in there. All the armies are there waiting for her. But when they see her, they all kind of like, oh, okay, let's back down. Daemon walks out, and she says real loud so everybody can hear, who do you serve? And then Daemon, in his high Valyrian, says, I've seen it. I believe it. You are the queen. I will serve you until the day I die. And then he gets the army to rally for her. So what do you, Chloe? How you felt about that scene with Daemon and Rhaenyra at Harrenhal?
Another great scene. Best scene ever. Like all of these scenes, this whole episode was just great scenes. One after the other, after the other, after the other. It's like we went from one scene to I wanted him to bend a knee so bad to her this whole time. Because he know that's his wife. And he needs to stop playing. And even though that's his wife niece, I don't care. Just like I didn't care that Jon Snow was Daenerys' nephew. I love their love story. So I'm just like, it was the girly girl in me was like, yeah, you been that knee. And you go home to your wife because you was out here. Because essentially he got into a fight with his wife and left and ended up in hell. Had a story arc. He changed his ways. And then he was like, you know what? I was being kind of stubborn. Queen, I love you. I serve you. And the whole point of it was, and even Rhaenyra said it the last or 2 episodes ago, she's like, we're each other's balance. Like he's completely opposite and I admire him for that part. And he admires me for this part. So now they're on the same team. They should be unstoppable. And Daemon should have just played his part this whole time.
Wake up.
I'm not asleep.
How you felt about Daemon finally riding for Rhaenyra and rallying his army with his huge army they got?
Man, that shit was about time. For real.
Yeah.
It was definitely about time. It made me wonder also how that fool with the white hair, what's his name? Sir Alfred.
Which one? The one that was which one? The one that was trying to be a turncoat?
Well, not. I already seen how he felt. He was already uncomfortable as hell once he bent the knee and started cheering.
You talking about Santa Claus?
Yeah, I'm talking about the one.
He snitched earlier. He was like, Rhaenyra. He was like, I think you need to get down here because Damon, he's been. But you know what's funny? He snitched on him the whole time when he was talking about.
Only that conversation. Only that conversation scared the shit out of him, man.
Simon Straw.
Yeah, Simon Straw.
Simon.
Santa Claus was like, and it was so funny because when he seen him bend the knee, he was so
happy.
Yo, yeah.
He was like, yes.
Yo, Josh, how you felt about? Well, I definitely get your thoughts. I know you like Matt Smith about Matt Smith and Damon and Rhaenyra in this scene and him finally bending the knee and rallying the army around her. Josh.
Yeah, I definitely missed their interactions, especially in High Valyrian. Like the way they go into High Valyrian at specific times is just like a perfect connection. So I really appreciate seeing that on screen. Yeah. And a little bit for Rhaenyra, I thought she was capping a little bit. I was like, man, you come on, you know it's Damon. I mean, come on, like let's. He is so fiercely loyal to his brother and also by default Rhaenyra, and this scene proved it once again. So of course Damon strays, of course to demonstrate some freedom and power, right? He just wants to be liberated at times. That's his right as the prince. He could do that,
right?
Or the king consort. So you just gotta let him get some space. That's all. But at the same time, I love the scene how what's Rhaenyra's dragon again?
Caraxes?
Nah,
Syrax. Yeah. First, I love how Syrax lands on the stairs and positions herself in a way where no one can get in, and then flies because Harrenhal is wide open. Then flies on top of Harrenhal and looks down, and it's like it goes. I wish one of y'all would give me a reason to set y'all on fire. So that part was great too, and I think that the fact that Damon came with a army and bended knee, I think is going to set up an interesting love triangle next season with what's happening back at Dragonstone.
Interesting.
Oh,
it's gonna be a power dynamic. They're gonna be trying to fight to give her advice. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Remember the whole Mysaria and Rhaenyra romance not in the book, so that's interesting, Josh. See how that plays out. I want to wake you up with this scene. Another great scene, as Chloe was talking about. The next scene we get Corlys and Alan, and we got Corlys telling Alan, "I want to see you." He's like, "Listen, man, you my first mate, you second in charge, so you got to become more personable. Let the men know who you are." Blah, blah, blah. And then Alan like, look, I'm going to do my job. I don't know what else to tell you. So Corlys said, I'm trying to help you. Once he say that, Alan go off. he tell him, look, man, you were never here for me. You let me and my brother starve when you came out here with your other son, eating sweet meat, wearing furs. And that's what he said. He was like, you don't know how it felt? And he was like, listen, I'm going to do my job, but I don't do nothing for you. Don't say nothing to me. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. But I'll let you go into it. How you felt about that scene?
Yo, I ain't even going to cap you. I was shocked that conversation even went that route. I was like, oh, shit. This nigga decides to let him have it. Before even shit hit the fan, he decides to let this man have it. Yeah. So he let him have it. Yo. And no cap. Yo, the acting was wonderful because Corlys looked like a piece of shit dad face. Like the face was like, no. What did he tell me?
You're dismissed.
You're dismissed.
Yeah. He stopped.
Yo, the nigga kept going. That nigga said sweet meats. I knew that nigga was
No,
mad.
when he walked away, he did a little.
Yeah, yo.
Oh, no.
Yo, that shit
Oh my God. But you know, y'all wanted this talk this whole time, and I said, I don't want that talk. I thought
you did. You said that.
And it happened, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah, how you felt about the scene, Chloe?
Oh my God.
I was like, here we go. I'm like, not him. He big as hell, want to cry about daddy issues. Like, bro, just get on the ship and get your money. Like, his brother was like,
yo his brother handling it, right? His brother handling it. He over here acting crazy
with daddy issues. Like, bro, you too old. Like, I'm sorry, that sounds insensitive, but this is Game of Thrones. Get over it. You want to ship, you want to shave your head so nobody knows that's your daddy, but everybody knew when you was growing up. So when they know that now, that's the part I don't understand. Like, it's an itty bitty island. Like, I don't know.
Man, he mad that they had the sweet meats and he was starving over there.
He was like, yeah, and they dead. And now you want to talk to me? Because all your heirs is dead. Now you want me to be
here? Yo.
Like, bro, if you don't become heir, your brother's going to be heir. So
I would have faded him off that. I said dismiss, didn't I? Didn't I tell you dismiss, motherfucker? Do you know what kind of shit I was going through, huh? I said dismiss. Now come around back. Yeah, come around back.
But then he saved his life, though. Like, he saved his life, bro.
Yeah, he did.
Corliss Williams needs to unbastard his illegitimacy. He never read the books, though. We're hoping for that in season 3. So.
He about to. He got close. He getting closer and closer every time he talked to Rhaenyra about. That was funny when they had the conversation, and she was like, what do you know about this young gentleman? He's like, well, I hear you.
Right. Yo, and I don't understand why he hiding. She already went and got bastards to fly for us. So it's like
because remember, he has beef with Rhaenyra because she killed his son, right?
Yeah.
Even though she didn't really kill him, but then he also probably didn't want to like he was cheating on her sister, on her Rhaenys. When Rhaenys is dead, Rhaenys can't even say, "Yeah, I gave him his blessing. I knew about the bastard." Yeah. So he has to tiptoe on that, you know.
I mean, she is the queen, so Rhaenyra. So I see his point. I see your point, Chloe. Why he like, y'all want to let her know that I was out here?
Not yet. It's coming. He gonna wait till they. He trying to make sure that he'll F up first. He can't claim him. So he like, good. He got a dragon. I'm getting closer to claiming that one, but the other one probably not anytime soon.
He done went off.
Since he told me off, and we got to get on this ship for 30 days and 30 nights.
Yeah.
And fight this war. You want to tell me off?
But I'm kind of with you, E. I'm like, listen, man, I ain't just your bastard dad. I'm also the Lord of Driftmark. Watch who you talking to here. Like, I'm kind of with that. But Josh, how you feeling about that scene? Let me get you in there, man.
I definitely agree with what everyone's saying. And to be fair to Corliss, if he remembers what happened last time bastards were brought up, his brother was decapitated. So I can understand how he wants to tippy-toe around the subject, specifically with this family of the Targaryens specifically, right? So I definitely get that. And so the scene with Alan and Corliss, I appreciate because, of course, Alan needed to say that. He's been bottling him up for a while. I'm curious if we see him next season on the sea with the E-money waves on the waves. He let his hair grow in. that'll be dope too. But I think he should embrace it. Like, I understand, but I agree with Chloe. That's what I was saying. Like, bro, get over it. Like, I was saying, get over it before that explosion. That explosion was warranted for him. I get that. But I would have got over it before. Like, you need to go get your whatever you can get from this situation, because normally you was gonna stay. You lucky you even got where you at now, right? Not only you not getting these sweet meats, you're not gonna be able to work, right?
Right.
Yo. Watch him try to bring out olive branch. I brought some sweet meats on the platter. That'll be hilarious. But it again, I think it's set up perfectly what the relationship is going to be like next season. So I can't wait to see that develop.
Interesting. I wanted the conversation closed. I got it. I was happy. I finally got it.
I was watching like, here he go. Mike happy, E-Money happy. Here we go. It could have been a better conversation, but you know.
He went to sweet
He
meats.
stomped off. He pulled the Jace. He was pouting and stomped off.
Yeah.
I could.
Corliss hadn't expected though at all. I don't think Corliss had dismissed. He was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, he ain't expected because you know, when people do stuff like when daddies leave, they in their head they didn't leave.
Yeah. I know he's saying to himself, damn, I wish I at least dropped off a little bit of bread. Like,
yeah, there's still something over there.
He's like, well, it's too late now. My other kids are dead. Now it's your turn. You're welcome.
Yeah, well, here the bread I owe anyway.
Well, another great scene, Chloe. Next one. Rhaenyra gets woken up at night with a visitor, and it's Alicent. And she done crept over the Dragonstone from King's Landing.
Here they go with this shit.
And at this point, she's trying to basically cut a deal. She's basically like, listen, I just want to take me and my daughter and my granddaughter and leave. And Rhaenyra like, look, it's too late. You started this. I tried to come to you when I was on my Sister Act moment, and you ain't want to hear me out. Now you're coming in with this. And then like earlier we was talking about, she says, listen, I got to go through with this. And then Al says, listen, I can get us to leave or whatever. I'll let you in, and I can get Aegon to bend the knee while Aemon is gone. And Rhaenyra tells her, no more bending the knee. There's no way around this. I have to kill Aegon in order to show my strength. And Alicent finally is like, you know, I mean, he had burnt up Cripple anyway, so I guess we might as well do it. So she kind of agrees. They have more conversation about, you know, Alicent now being with Cole and her judging Rhaenyra for what she did before, and a lot of back and forth with that stuff. But I'll let Chloe start it off. How you feel about the latest conversation here? Something like that.
Like I said, everybody got read this episode, and it was so funny. This was another real conversation. Yeah. Because Rhaenyra was like, oh, you want to leave now? Okay. You want to start? You started this and now you want to leave? Oh, you think you could just do this and then just escape? What you coming to me for? What you want me to say? I forgive you? I'm not giving you that. I'm not absolving you from your sins. So it was, for me, that conversation needed to happen. Now that was a conversation that needed to happen. Yeah. And it was hilarious because Alicent is still up in the Lululand. Yeah. Like, oh, now I can just escape. I'm finally free. I can escape to, you know, Neverland with my daughter and pretend like none of this ever happened. Meanwhile, it's a trail of bodies. Yeah. It's your fault.
Right.
And you just want to escape. And it's supposed to be okay. Because there's no point. She's a nobody. Alicent's literally a nobody. Like, nobody even knows she's gone.
Right. So Alicent would have been
twice now. She left for like 2 weeks to go on a little retreat last week.
Right. Nobody cared. In my dungeon. That's exactly what she was doing.
Somebody said, why she lock her up? I agree with you on that.
Right. I'd have had her right in that dungeon. Yeah, listen, this ain't the, you know how you let me go? Yeah, this ain't that.
She should have put her in the dungeon. Well, no, because remember she promised her that she would come back and it wouldn't be. Because and then also Rhaenyra is also in the Lululand. She still thinks that there's not going to be war.
Right. Why do they keep doing that?
Because they're women and they living in fantasy world. Okay? They're living in the fantasy. That's like, crazy. Oh, everything still can be okay. Even I got 7 dragons, so now he's gonna back off. And there won't be a war. No. Not how it works. So it's so funny because it's like the women who are making all these decisions, not, you know, they don't have the other side of the coin. Where's actual battle?
That's what I hated, both meetup scenes. Yeah, and neither one of those are in the book.
I love the second scene. The second scene was lit, y'all. Yeah. She told her, she was like, oh, so you was on your high horse. You was talking all of that when I was with Sir Christian Cole, but you was with him too?
Yeah. That's what she said. Allison kind of comes to her like hat in hand, basically. Like, listen, I'm trying to go. I will let you in the gates. Then agrees to let her kill Aegon and stuff like that. I didn't like that. I mean, I guess because they're the stars of the show, they're trying to put them together. But
what was wrong with that? For me, that was like one of the best.
The scene wasn't bad, I guess, in a sense. But Alicent stays 10 toes down in the book. She never says you can kill my son. Never is like
right.
Alicent is like, we're gonna ride this till the wheels fall off, and this kind of made her a little bit more weak to me, a little bit.
Okay.
She was, what's the word? She had an existential crisis, and she realized that her part is done, so she's trying to escape.
Yeah, I get it. I definitely. I mean,
and she doesn't want to take ownership of or accountability for what she's done, so she's running from it.
They're giving them wrong. Okay, I can see your point on that. Josh, let me get you in here, bro. How you feel about the Alicent Rhaenyra scene?
Yeah, I can't disagree with what anyone said, except the part about the dungeons. I didn't think she was ever going to do that because she already returned the favor. So I think that would be in poor taste to do that, for my opinion. So that's in terms of that. But the other part is, the entire time I was thinking about Helena during the scene, because when Helena first makes the sacrifice, she freezes twice. And I'm thinking that she went back in time and remembered this moment. She saw this moment and how her mother made that decision. So that gave her the bravery to this. Okay, I'm gonna make the similar decision since my mother made the decision to sacrifice a son for a son. So I thought that was interesting as well. Like you said, even though it didn't happen in the books, I think they're gonna try and link it with the Third Eye Raven site, the green site. In the show, that's what it looks like they're setting up.
But also, in addition to that, one of the theories was that they were trying to show that the reason why Rhaenyra ended up messing with Mysteria was to show that she likes women, to set it up that she had a crush on Alicent when she was little.
Yeah, that's no.
And so, because Alicent also asked her to run away.
Yeah, she did. You're right.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
But could you imagine though? Because from that perspective, it's like if Rhaenyra had a crush on her and on your best friend, you had a crush on your best friend, then she ends up marrying your dad.
That's crazy. Bad feminist writing. that's a take.
Yeah.
I think they really try to get the two of them because they are the faces of the show together in as many scenes as possible. So I definitely get that aspect of it all. But at the end of it, everybody's ready now. Rhaenyra got her dragons. We see the Lannister army marching. We see the sea snake on his boat with Alan looking at him all crazy. We see the Triarchy coming over with the other Lannister. We see the Old Town High Towers are coming, and we finally see Darren and his blue dragon too. And then the Starks are coming too. The other side. And it's all coming together, Josh. So how you feeling about that last setup there, man? Oh, I'm sorry. And Otto Hightower locked up. So I forgot about that.
Right, I saw that. So I'm curious who's about to let him out. That's what I definitely want to see. I'm excited to see that next season. And was it 2026?
Probably earlier, mid 2026. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that'll be. I think again, I saw a meme on Twitter saying that every Game of Thrones season finale is usually a trailer for the next season, and I felt that way too, but I wasn't disappointed at all. Like, I really appreciate it. I really like the storylines that they set up. I thought it was a great cliffhanger, and as Big Mike alluded to in the beginning of the show, if you know about Game of Thrones, the season finale is always going to be a massive cliffhanger.
Yeah, definitely. Chloe, how you feel about the very end, all the setup they got going on for the following season?
I think because I knew that it was only going to be 4 seasons,
yeah,
I was prepared for this to be a cliffhanger. In that it was actually be 2 years. Usually I don't do that much research and I'd be like, really? I got to wait 2 years? But because I already seen it coming, I was just like, oh, this was a great ending. Because everything is set up, so that means next season, E-Money, they're going to be fighting from day one. It's not going to be no more build up. Like, we've been building up for 2 seasons. So next season, they're going to get a higher budget. They're going to have more dragons, more fire, and in 2 years the technology will be way better. So the dragons might even look even crazier. I'm hoping.
In fact, we gotta wait 2 years.
It was probably like what they start shooting January 2025, so yeah, probably close to 2 years. I'm saying about March or April 2026.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I'll have a
2
child by
years.
then.
We gotta wait. See, we gotta wait 2 years.
We just waited 2 years. It went by faster than you thought
We
it would.
did. No, it did go by fast, but I didn't remember anything from the first season. That was the problem.
You better eat some more fish. I don't know if
But no, it was hard, but nobody remembered. This was like a running thing. If you went on like all the reviews for the first episode, nobody remembered what happened.
Okay.
So the only saving grace is that there's going to be other Game of Thrones shows in between.
Yeah, not a
but it wasn't before. So, I'm happy about that. So,
George R. R. Martin knows how to tell a story, leaving the audience with wanting more. Cliffhangers on his bread and butter to go. Yeah, the Game of Thrones was every season, but I guess they only had 3 dragons and they weren't even big until season 3 or 4. So I guess with this takes more time and money. This episode right here has 6 dragons in it. And they didn't even fight, but it's just a lot of money to spend. But the season is over. So E, as a whole, how would you rate the season?
Oh, the season as a whole?
Oh, this episode. I'm sorry, this episode, then the season. I'm sorry.
All right, so this episode, I'm gonna give it I don't know. It gave me what I want in certain areas and shit like that, so I give it like an 8. I give it an 8. I didn't. This the cliffhanger shit, man. They killing me with that, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. But the season as a whole, it was a great season. It was definitely a great season.
Okay, good stuff. Josh?
I definitely give it a 9. I thought the finale was quintessential Game of Thrones. I love everything they set up. I love how they didn't give us everything we wanted to see, because that, even though we want that, if we get that, it'll be boring. So I appreciate how they spread it out and break it up, especially at the most, like pivotal parts. Like, wow, I can't wait to see either the next episode or the next season. So that's why I got to give it a 9. And also, I'm not sure if they're still at 20 million per episode, but if they are, they might have to go to 30 or 40 for the next 2 seasons. And it may be worth it, because I think you're going to get a lot of people to sign up, especially after the second season. Just for that 3rd and 4th season, I think it might be worth the gamble to put a little bit more into the budget to make sure it's right when you have the dragons dancing in the sky at night with fire. I mean, come on.
Right.
Chloe, this episode, how would you rate it in the season as a
whole? So this episode definitely 9.5. And it's a half. It would have been a 10 if we didn't get that conversation from Corliss to his son. But and then this season was way better than last season. Way better. So I'm gonna say as a whole, maybe like a 9. And Mike, filler episode. There's no such thing as a filler episode. And you were like, I'm just paraphrasing here. Okay. They can't do dragons every episode. It has to build up. Just because it builds up. I mean, just because like this episode was a build up. The other episode, what episode was that? Maybe episode like 6 or something.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing happened.
Yeah,
that was a filler.
I'll give you my thoughts on that in a second, but yeah.
So that's what I mean by filler. Like this episode, they didn't fight or nothing. Well, it wasn't. You know what I mean? It was a build up, but everything was important. That other episode was trash. So I probably would rate that other episode more like a 5 now. Okay. Now that I know what a real build up
is, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Right, E-Money, you get me?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Hold on, I want to respond to what's his name? Gerard. Gerard says they're going so away from the books, makes me wonder if they will reverse who lives and who dies in conflict. So I want to answer that in 2 ways. One, before, actually, I didn't get this on the show.
Don't spoil.
I'm not.
Anything, please.
Before we started this show, Gerard, I was mentioning, which you probably already know if you read the books, that the book is told by an unreliable narrator. mushroom who wasn't everywhere when things happened. So what the book is just his account of events told by someone else. So the show's supposed to be what really happened, basically, based off what he was saying. So really, this is the truth, and the books are the unreliable narrator, is what it is.
That's smart. That's smart how he did that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now, as far as what else did he say? Who lives and who dies. So the show, I'm gonna give the episode here. I loved it. I think it was like a 9 at least. Could have been a 10 except for the whole scene with Tyler Lannister and the mud fights. That part was like a waste of my time for me. But the season, I probably would give more of, I don't know, like a 7 for me. I agree with you, Chloe. Episode 5 and 6 were definitely filler episodes. Now that I go back and see, so I'm gonna give you that. But I think that the showrunner Ryan Condal, he's too much of a fan of these characters because, to Gerard's point, he even said it himself, Ryan Condal. So I'm not spoiling. He said, and Dance of the Dragon, in this book, people die. Like a lot of people die, like main characters, and he don't want them to die as fast. So he's stretching it out. I feel like too long. This could have been 3 seasons, really. To be honest with you, but I feel like he's stretching to keep people around. He's stretching storylines because characters are fan favorites. No spoilers, Chloe. But I feel like people die, and that to me is a staple of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, when people die, I noticed
Robb
that
Stark,
a lot of people,
and like main characters is okay if you die. So I think this guy is not doing it justice in a way. So it's kind of bothered me. Like to me, this season should have been 10 episodes. There's battles that are set up that could have happened episode 9 and 10. At least the episode 9 maybe that didn't happen. So I'm a little slightly disappointed in this season because of he's stretching it on purpose to keep people around. Josh, you look at me crazy.
Well, next season, go ahead, baby.
Big Mike.
Yeah. And I love Game of Thrones.
That's what I'm saying. Big Mike, you said it just there.
What?
All right, let's think about it in a way. Remember when Disney Plus started?
Yeah.
And we were all complaining because they don't have enough content, and then eventually years later they have the whole Disney Vault on there, right?
Yeah.
So they're building up let's say Max is building up their Game of Thrones Westeros Vault on Max, and it's just going to take some time. They need some time to build some projects. So you already have other projects in the works that are greenlit. You gotta sit tight, Yeah,
it's not. But there's enough stories, Aegon's Conquest, Robert's Rebellion, and Dunk and Egg, where you can tell limited series, 3 seasons each. That's 9 seasons right there, 3 different shows. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't gotta stretch it and try to make people stick around for a long time. The whole Allison and Rhaenyra thing, like I said, it's fine. Just the conversations are fine, but at the end of the day, it's like you did that because they're the stars of the show. You want to get them back together. It's almost like Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, and Heat. They filmed the whole movie, and then they realized, oh my God, we have no scene with De Niro and Pacino. So they went back and filmed one scene in a diner to get them together in a scene. And I was like, it didn't even make sense, that scene, but just to get them in together.
And yet, it's an iconic scene.
It never makes sense to the movie, though, at all. You really watch it.
But it don't matter.
I know. I get it. So, I don't know. I think, like, the hard-hitting shock factors, I know Rhaenys died, right, in episode 4, right? But I think those were staples of Game of Thrones that's kind of missing in this season for me. But I do agree with Chloe. Next season, it's going to be crazy. Like, it's going to be all-out wars. Nowhere around it at this point.
We did get deaths, though, Mike.
We got Rhaenys.
No, not just Rhaenys. We got old boy getting eaten by a dragon.
Last season, Luke.
That wasn't was that last season?
Yeah, that was the season finale. Yeah.
Okay, we got the kid with his head chopped off. Nobody expected that. The baby with the head chopped off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We got
I'm like yeah, who else?
You said who?
You're like, who's that? Nobody.
I got you.
I'm just saying next season is going down. Like I feel like you wanted it to happen just too quick.
No, I want to happen as it should happen. Like that. Like
it is happening. It's just taking longer.
Yeah, they're definitely stretching.
We're taking the scenic route.
Okay, I understood that concept, but there are certain things that were I guess, indisputable. I guess trying to say facts. Like when they're meeting Damon at Harrenhal, they would have plenty of witnesses to that event. But that's in the show. So that, I mean, they did that event and stuff like that.
So Big Mike, what you want to say about the budget?
Budget. I'm sorry, Josh. Budget. I think also this is not about the show. It's about Ryan Zazoff. Give them more money. You can't have these dragon battles. You can't. First of all, you can't do a show about House of the Dragons that has 17 dragons in the whole story without more money. I'm sorry. Game of Thrones, you got that off because Dany's dragons are babies for the first 3-4 seasons. So you can just have these battles, which are not that much money, right? But these dragons cost money, so you gotta spend the money. So I think they need to give them more money for next season, especially what's going on. Go ahead, Chloe.
Well, that's why it's only 4 seasons.
I agree with that too. Well,
and that's why we ain't get 10 episodes.
It's really that's why we get 10 episodes, right? Because of the money situation. Yeah, give them 10 episodes. I agree with that. Give them more money. This story got a long way to go, be honest with you. However, things happen pretty swift now. So,
the only thing is, and I agree with you guys because I do think they should really splash the cash, but we look at the economic situation. Each episode is 20 million. They probably use 20 million just for the marketing. So you can conservatively say 100 million per season for the production and the streaming of House of the Dragon. Yeah. And I just looked up HBO Max's profit per year, and it's only 100 per year. So the entire platform's profit is that show's budget. So you got to make some serious decisions.
Well, I agree with you, but maybe you shouldn't do Dance of the Dragons because there's so many dragons in this show. Dunk and Egg, there's no dragons, so that's gonna be an easy show. He walks, whatever, but you'll see. But this one is gonna be, it's a lot more. Maybe they look at it like that. Okay, well, we got to spend out on Dunk and Egg, but we'll save that money for the next House of the Dragon season. I don't know, but I just felt like I love to see. To me, unlike I'm okay with the non-action because I do know Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. It's a drama. It's not action adventure series. So all these conversations, I do love. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like some of the characters shouldn't be kept around just for, I don't know, just for fans' sake, I guess, or because they're main characters, in my opinion.
Right, because the first one, a lot of people was getting dropped off like flies.
A lot of main characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, they're dragging it out. I agree with that, too. Yeah, it's definitely a drag out. Go ahead, Josh. We can't hear you, Josh.
I think you really got to you do have to draw it out so people can actually take time to know the characters, because for most people, maybe not you, Big Mike, because you're a big fan of it, right? Yeah. So for me, it took me until like season 3 to be really invested. And if there's only going to be 4 seasons, you're going to have to drag it out a little bit for that character development, just so we even have an attachment. Because as Chloe was saying, apparently people didn't really remember season 1. So they didn't have that connection. It took me at least 3 to 4 seasons to learn everyone's name in Game of Thrones, because it's a lot going on. You really have to get used to George R.R. Martin's storytelling, which is great. Once you get your sea legs, it's fantastic. But you have to build up that stamina to hold your attention in that way. That's the only thing. So I get why they're doing it this way, because it's going to get more people on board, more people invested. So when those crazy deaths and scenes come next season and the aftermath in season 4, it'll really hit home emotionally. And I think that's what they're going for.
I'm dying to see actually how season 3 ends, to see what's left in season 4.
Right.
So that's where I'm like, that's where my mindset is at.
It's true, because I'm sure there's a amount of drama that they have to split up if there's like a period with no drama. But my bad, Chloe, go ahead.
It's gonna be how they did the last of the dragons, Game of Thrones. Like the last fight, they split it into 2.
They did.
It was like first, what I mean, he killed the dragon became a White Walker, and then the season ended. and we were like, what's gonna happen? Cliffhanger. So I mean, I think y'all should just know. Like, if I was a regular person, I probably wouldn't have watched this show until like the 4th season, so I wouldn't have to wait 2 years, like I did with the first with the other stuff. I didn't watch it till season 6.
I'm hoping that the next time they're ready for a back-to-back season, not like 2 years in between, because that would be much better. If we could do like 3 and 4, like 1 year after the next at least, I think that would be a lot better for people.
That'd be really smart, Big Mike, and it would probably shave their budget for 2 seasons. They could just film it all at once and then chop it up and edit it later. They might be able to get a deal that way. Big Mike, you need to go hire. You need to get hired at HBO, Big Mike.
Yeah, the same way they're about to do the 2 new Avengers movies. They're about to do
right.
The last 2. They film them back to back or whatever like that.
Yeah, that's how they did Harry Potter, but you don't know about that life, young man, young muggle.
Anyway, as long as nobody gets any scandals.
Yeah, that's true. But that's good to film them back to back. Then you don't have time for scandals. You just gotta wrap it up real quick. So
nah, it's already filmed. You can't kill them off.
Oh yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, I get your point. Yeah.
King the Conqueror.
Yeah. Loki season 2, right?
This the biggest disappointment ever.
Man, yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the comments today. Unfortunately, the season is not going to be here no more, but we are done. But we appreciate it. We'll be back for other stuff that's coming out in the fall. Of course, me and E should be back for Power in 3 or 4 weeks. But thank you, Josh. Thank you, E. Thank you, Chloe, for being here every week with me. And we'll be here. One Mic Media. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Peace.